Greetings, beloveds. This is Amy Karen Johnson, the Earth Channel, here with you with a live channeled message on New Year's Eve. May already be New Year's, possibly where you are, depending on where you might be living. But I don't have too much to say before I get into the message from Mother Earth Gaia. I do just want to mention, however, that I am only a few miles away from the fires that burned mostly yesterday. I don't know that they're completely out yet, but in Boulder County, only a few miles away from the evacuation areas there. So it's a bit of a sad time right now. And so, I'm grateful, of course, that it didn't reach me, but I feel for those people who were impacted by that. It was pretty devastating. So our hearts go out to you if you see this message at any time. Without any further ado, I will now get into the channeling state, close my eyes, take a few deep breaths. Feel free to join me if you would like. I do believe that Gaia can reach you too, individually, with additional messages specific to you. So that's why I always invite you to join me. Hello, this is Gaia. We would like to wish you a happy new year. And we realize that many of you would like to hear some good news about how 2022 is going to go for you. We can say that it will be slightly different for each and every one of you, but there will be one major factor that will affect you and all of those around you throughout this coming year and even beyond that as well. We have a difficult truth to share with you along those lines. You have, most of you, lost your connection to us, to Earth, to Mother Earth, to Gaia. We say this not as a reprimand, but because seeing this truth is the first step to rectifying it. We ourselves are not hurt by your lack of connection to us. It is you who hurts as a result of a lack of connection to us. We are not trying to sell you anything. You certainly do not need a reading or a message from Amy through Amy in order to connect with us. You may do so yourselves at any time, free of charge. But the more you connect with us in this coming year, the happier and healthier you will be, and those around you will be. We know that connecting with us has different connotations for each of you. You may not fully understand what that means, or you may assume you know what it means, when in reality it means something quite different. So allow us to elaborate. The number one way to connect with us, at least and especially in the beginning, but in some form throughout your lives, is through physical contact. We have said this before, but we will say it again, hoping that the message gets out and that the truth sinks in. Yes, physical contact means walking barefoot on the earth, on grass, on any kind of ground cover that does not cause you pain, but yet allows you to connect with us. It can also mean gardening, working with plants. Crystals can be helpful. And there are now many different ways to make a physical, conductive contact with us, even for those of you who go through a cold winter season. There are various ways to arrange your shoes in order to do this, to earth or ground, as they call it. There are different kinds of conductive socks you can purchase, silver with silver in them, or copper. And there are many different items you can purchase to have in your home. Mats, cuffs, and so forth. There is a great body of research out there showing how much this can help each and every one of you to reduce inflammation, to help with your mental health. Amy has her feet on such a mat right now with her socks with the silver in them, since it is cold where she is. You can also ground and connect to us through visualizations, through your imagination, and through meditation. But the physical part of it will help you. And notice that we said it will not only help you, but also those around you. When you are grounded, when you are connected to us, to the earth, and all of the wisdom and gifts that we have ready, willing, and waiting to share with you, you will be a happier, healthier person, more able to share and care for those around you. You will begin to realize what really matters. You will begin to fully connect with and comprehend where your food comes from. You have heard, perhaps, the parable of building your house upon the sand versus your house upon a rock. And for most of you, you still have homes that are connected to the earth, but only with insulative materials. And there are some reasons for that that are good. We're not saying that you should drastically change the way you build homes. We are just pointing out that metaphor, showing you that connection to us is your foundation. It will make you much more stable. You need that solid foundation, that conductive and connective foundation to do anything and everything in your life better, to be better, feel better. There are also some misunderstandings about the best ways to steward nature, which of course is a part of us as well. And we did quite well stewarding ourselves for a long time. And so we wish to point out some of those ways that work better than the ways that you have believed work. When you drive around in your cars frequently, you are not connected to us. Being grounded necessitates a certain amount of stillness. We're not saying that you should sit all day by any means. We know that you need to move. It is a good thing to move. And outdoors is good. However, it would be best for you to understand that there are beautiful, wonderful places for you to be outdoors, literally right outside your door. You do not need to drive to the mountains, for example, like so many people in Amy's home state do of Colorado. The mountains do not have a monopoly on nature. Another lesson we would like to impart upon to you is the management of your wilderness, your wildlands, your grasslands. For so long, these areas have been thinned in order to prevent fires. And yet, Amy has to clear the smoke from her throat so often when she does our channels our messages, because of how many fires, worse and worse each year, have occurred where she is. When you can foster and cultivate and promote the growth of fungi, mycelial network, mushrooms in your forests, they will hold moisture much better. And one of the ways that helps this to happen as well is allowing the trees to grow in their clumps as they do. Even some of the dead and rotting wood, those are prime places for fungi to thrive. And so we understand where you analyzed and thought that this would be a good way to prevent fires. But we are afraid that it is not promoting the growth of the mycelial network. There may be some who try to argue with us, and yet, if that was really going to work, if that was truly going to be sustainable, we do not believe you would have had at least not all of the fires to the magnitude that they occurred recently. There have been studies showing this to be true. It is not just us telling you this. Look into those studies and study further if you need to. But the metaphor here, in addition to the reality, is that by connecting to us, you are connecting to the whole earth. Not only do we maintain our connections through a mycelial network, but also through the water that makes up so much of this planet. We have an abundance of water, but you have cut yourselves off from it too. So we invite you to begin exploring new ways to connect to the abundance of water that we have available for you. This too has been studied, but it is not yet widely known. We wish to get the message out. We know that so many of your paradigms, so many of your systems, so many of your habitual ways of going about things, going about your life, going about your work, run at least slightly contrary to what we are saying right now. So we invite you to just take baby steps. Take one step and then another. We know you are busy. And yet, in this respect, going more slowly will help you go more quickly and will help you to go in the right direction. As you gradually make these adjustments, the more you can embrace them, the better 2022 will be for you. We have so much love for you. We thank you so much for listening and joining us today. Namaste, beloveds. I feel better. I hope that was helpful for you too. I hope it was not too difficult for you to hear. I know that I felt as I was channeling it that it was said with the greatest love. And yet sometimes when things are so contrary to what we have known before and the way we've been living, it can sound harsh. So take whatever helps, whatever you will. And I will be back soon with more messages. I typically do a live channeled message like this every Friday. Occasionally I shift it or skip it, but usually it's Fridays. I also do not a live message, but another video on Saturday nights, Sundays. So if you would like to stay tuned for more, be sure to click subscribe and the bell button to be notified when they come out. And I wish you the happiest of New Year's. Happy 2022. Namaste.